Welcome Retail 101ers to another TMOL episode hosted by Mark Lack from Retail 101 Online. What's a TMOL? TMOL, I hear you ask. Well, it's a 10-minute or less episode where I expand on a narrow element from a larger episode or cover something I have missed or something that a listener has asked a question about. After completing episodes 3 and 4, the Assortment Chronicles, unveiling the epic saga of supermarket success, parts 1 and 2, I had talked a lot about how to build a winning assortment. However, one of my listeners sent me a message and asked for more information about margin management and why their margin might be dropping. So, I have put together this TMOL where we unlock the mystery with 10 reasons why your profit margins are shrinking. Of course, there are many reasons your margin may actually be dropping, but here I try to describe the most common reasons for margin decline, especially in a retail supermarket environment. So, let's get into it. Number 1. A shift in the category mix. Changes in consumer preferences or market trends can lead to shifts in the category sales mix, with increased sales of lower margin categories, for example the basic commodities, and decreased sales in higher margin categories, for example premium or specialty items. Number 2. Increased competition in higher margin categories. Intensified competition from other retailers or online platforms in traditionally high margin categories, for example health and beauty, can pressure prices downward, impacting gross margins. Number 3. Promotional strategies. Heavy reliance on promotions and discounts to drive sales in specific categories can result in lower effective selling prices and reduced gross margins during promotional periods, especially if these are not compensated by the suppliers. Number 4. The rising cost of goods sold, or COGS as it is more commonly known. Fluctuations in commodity prices or supplier costs for certain categories, for example meat and dairy, can increase COGS, reducing gross margins unless your retail prices are adjusted accordingly. Number 5. The dreaded shrinkage and wastage. Shrinkage and wastage is a heavy drain on company resources. The cost of goods that are lost due to shrinkage, for example theft and damage, or wastage, for example spoilage and expiration, still contributes to the COGS. However, since these units are not sold and do not generate any revenue, their cost remains unabsorbed into the sales revenue. Number 6. Private label expansion. Increased sales of private label or store brand products, typically priced lower than national brands, whilst usually having a better percentage margin, can impact the overall cash margin. Number 7. Price deflation in key categories. Price deflation in specific categories, for example electronics or apparel, due to market trends or competitive pressures, can reduce gross margins despite stable or even growing sales volumes. Number 8. Seasonal variations. Seasonal fluctuations in category sales, such as higher sales of lower margin seasonal items, for example holiday decorations, summer apparel, and for my Muslim friends, Vinto, can temporarily impact overall gross margins. Number 9. Supplier and vendor relationships. Changes in supplier terms, discounts, or vendor rebates can affect margins on specific categories, especially if negotiated terms favour certain products over others. And number 10. Customer preferences and demographics. Evolving customer preferences and demographic shifts, for example an aging population, health-conscious consumers, may influence category-level sales, leading to changes in overall gross margin composition. To address declining margins driven by changes in gross margin and category-level sales, retail supermarkets can implement strategies such as strategic pricing adjustments, category management optimization, targeted promotions, and supply negotiations to maintain profitability and sustain growth. Regular analysis of category performance and gross margin trends is essential for informed decision-making and effective margin management. You will need to set up a dedicated team and systems to ensure that all of your pricing decisions make sense and are data-driven. I hope this has helped somewhat in how you manage and then mitigate the reasons why your margins may be dropping. If you can think of anything else, then you know how to find me. Send them to me on LinkedIn, X, or the retail101online.com website, and I can add them to the list. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell wherever you get your podcast fix so you never miss out on the excitement of our next episode drop. Cheers to the retail revolution.